Hello, planners. It's me. Guess who's back? Back again. Hello, thank you so much for joining me today. After a week of me being sick, I am back here to plan the new week of August the 14th to the 20th. But what I need to do is I need to go back to basics because last week was just in shambles with trying to nurse myself back to health. So without further ado, let's just get going. Let's get in today's video. What I want to do is, like I said, because last week I was nursing myself from a very scratchy chesty cough and like huge migraines, and I don't know if I'm here or I'm there, but we're here. We're gonna get through it. I'm gonna get started with my new week. It is now Monday here in Sydney, Australia, Monday the 14th of August. So I better get my act together to get myself organized for the new week. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plan the new week in my running to-do list, and then I'm going to write down all the things I need to do, that I have to do, bills, appointments, and tasks. And then that way, when I do find myself a little bit of time to embellish the rest of my planner pages, I will do so in due time. So for those of you that are already here, thank you so much for saying hello. I do appreciate you all being here. Marcus says we need to make a singing stream happen. Can we do that? I'm not too sure. You have to verse me in a lot of these things, Marcus. I've seen live karaoke music being played on YouTube, but I wonder how it goes with regards to singing. Maybe we'll just have it unlisted. We've got a few things to chat about, Marcus, so we'll get together very soon with that, so you can help me out with these sort of things. So like I said, if you are here in the chat and you haven't said hello yet, I have my lovely community saying hello to each other. I do appreciate Marcus, Erin, Irene, the budgeting mama. Thank you so much. So if you are here and you haven't said hello yet, don't be shy. Chat with us. So if you are new, type new in the chat, and if of course you are watching this on replay, don't forget to say hello as well and type in replay so I can type and say howdy doody to you as well. So for those of you that may not know, I am Mariane, and through my own planning and habit tracking, well-being and budgeting, I hope to give you some inspiration to use your planning not just as a productivity tool, but also as a form of self-care, something you can focus on, your own little me time, embellishing your pages with lots of colors, or just setting your pages to plan for your new day, week, or month. Give yourself some space and grace and allow you to get some clarity and get back to doing all the good stuff that you do. Now, all items I do mention and show in today's video, the details are in the description below, so do check that out. Now, make sure you do stick to the end, because I want to let you know what is happening on my next live, which is my Saturday. For majority of you, it is your Friday. So that may help explain a little bit of things that's going on in your mind and body if you are getting a little bit stressed or overwhelmed. But I'm going to talk about that a little bit later on. Hello. Oh, let me just remove this so I can make sure that I am uh, highlighting you. Hello, Lauren, Jewish Planner Mum. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much. I do appreciate you being here, and I appreciate you saying a hello in the chat. So let's just get started. I want to show you my desk. So I am bringing back a staple to the Mariane Cresp planning setup. So I'm still in my personal size Filofax Malden organizer for my day-to-day planning. So I'm going to, of course, plan on that during the day. But what I'm going to do for today is I am going to use my running to-do list. Now, this one is the A5 Filofax Botanic Organizer in the, I think it's the Botanical. Yeah, and so I have to double check. I always get mixed up whether this is botanical or garden. Please forgive me, because let me just show you. This is garden organizer in the sunrise print. And I think this may be, yeah. So either way, I'm going to have the correct name of it in the description. So maybe I still am a little bit sick and my brain is still a little bit focused. So do forgive me. Oh, hello, Elle. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. All right. So like I said, because last week it was in shambles. The reason for that is I spent most of the day sleeping, nursing my illness and big migraines, and then staying up in the middle of the night because I'm wide awake. So a lot of my planning pages were untouched. A lot of it time blocked with sleeping in or sleeping, which is, of course, what I needed to do to make sure that I get better for myself and get up and at 'em here for you live and not miss out on another beautiful session with you guys. So I do appreciate that. So, like I said, my running to-do list is a planner inserts that I used when I was stressed, overwhelmed. I needed something that was a one pager that I can put all the things I needed to do on one page. It gives me a bird's eye view and exactly what I needed to do. I'm not having to flip through back and forth. So if you do ever find yourself in a position where your planner might overwhelm you, you might get, quite stressed and give you anxiety trying to fill in all the pages that you would normally fill in when you are in a better state of mind. Try and see if you can just have a simple to-do list that you can just look at, keeps you things streamlined. So this is what we have here. So running to-do list is really good because it allows you to write things down. You don't have to be in any chronological order, whether it's, from Monday to Sunday or Sunday to Saturday or high priority. Just list things down as you have them coming in your mind, or if you have them in your diary or your calendar. It's a great way to list things down. So let me see if I can zoom in a little bit so you can see how I'm going to set this up. So running to-do list, this is sort of like based on the method by Alistair. It's called the Alistair method where, yeah, it's just a write down your list, dot, dot, dot. But what I want to make sure that you do to, of course, not to overwhelm yourself too much is try to keep your running to-do list on one page, so you're not having to flip through, forget things on the other side of the page. It's really a really good opportunity to take all the stress out, because that's the thing that can derail us. That's the thing that can overwhelm us and make us feel more anxious. So the reason why we feel anxious when we have so many things to do and we don't know where to start is because they might be all over the place. For me, I know I have a daily spread, a weekly spread, the calendar, my well-being tracker, my habit tracker. So really important. Keep it simple. Hello, mate. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you being here. Yes, Elle, I am a lot better. And I think I can still feel a little bit scratchiness and, when I cough, a little bit of chesty feeling, but a lot better than I was last week. Remember, if you were here either with me on the Saturday live or the Monday live, I started getting sick because poor hubby was sick as well. All right, so running to-do list. Let me make sure that I am getting myself organized. So now with this one, I've created this, like I said, at the time, a few months back where it was just too much. And I needed to find a solution. So if you are running out of time and you don't have time to embellish the page, just keep it simple. I have here the week. So I'm just going to use a zebra mild liner. So for this, I'm just going to use the fine tip N and just put August 14th to 20th, just to add a bit of color. We know we love color here at Mariane Cresp channel. So I could either leave it as is, or as you know, I like to outline my little headings with a black pen just to make that pop on the page, because we know we like to make things pop, 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 pop. Okay, so just very quick, very simple. And then, of course, later in the week, when you do have the time, then I can, if I wanted, add stickers, add washi tapes, make it a little bit more colorful. But remember, we're keeping it simple, especially when we need to catch up from a week of all over the place. All right, so the to-do list is there. And then we have here, so I have a Monday start to my week, and I'm just going to add the date. So then, of course, it gives me a little prompt of what date it is, especially if you have tasks and to-dos that are date specific. So it's really important that I know, with the days going so quick nowadays, we don't know, what, sometimes we don't know what week, what month we are on, or we blink and then it's, August or September coming soon. It's already like the middle of the month, and I just feel like I was just preparing for the start of the month only the other day. So really, really important. All right, so the first thing I need to put on my to-do list is the known events, tasks, bills due. And what I need to, for that is I need to refer to my calendar. And that's when my personal planner comes back into play. I'm going to look at my August calendar, look at the new week we are on, and all these information from the week 14th to the 20th, I'm going to put it on my to-do list, on my running to-do list. So then that way it's there. When I need to refer to it, I know that on Tuesday the 15th at 3 a.m., I have a Zoom call for an online course that I'm doing, AMAP Zoom call. So then that way I am not surprised by it. So all the known events and tasks and bills due, really important. Even though you've written it down somewhere else, write it down again in a place that you know you're going to trust and refer back to during the day or during the week. There's no point writing all these things down and then not referring to our planners. Really, really important that it's something that we refer to. Let me just swap myself over here. And so really important that it's something that we make sure that we are referring back. So let's go 3 a.m. And then the way, in order, now that's why I did that. Okay, in order for me, make sure my light is, in order for me to know what day it is, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little marking on the date that it's supposed to happen. So Tuesday the 15th. So there it is, just a little dot. I'm going to tell you later on how that's going to help us plan our day. And then also on the Tuesday, the 15th, my Optus, which is the company that we run our mobile and internet on, the Optus bill is due. So the reason I need to do that is because I have that set in as a direct debit coming out of our account. So it's important that I have funds in there and I don't get surprised with money being taken out. And if I don't have the funds, maybe it gets overdrawn. So again, any money movement that you have throughout your week or your month, it's something that you need to put down on your planner, is because what happens when we're not organized with our money, and we know money is a big stressor in our life, especially for those that may not have a lot of it. So it's important that we also factor in any money movements, your income coming in, if you have a side hustle, if you have any other inflow of money coming in, you note it down. And then you also note down when it's going out. It helps you be organized. Really, one of that, the Organized Money, Elena, so she has a YouTube channel, and that is her, pretty much the basis of her content is money is an important factor to keep you organized, because if you don't have that organized, then everything else falls out of whack. All right, so then the other thing I'm going to do, so on the 17th here on my calendar, so which is this Thursday, my rent is due. So I need to put that in, so then again that I don't forget it. And then let me just make sure I'm putting, you can see my calendar as well. On the 18th, my iCloud bill is due. On the 19th, I'll put here interview Betty. So that's going to come into play a little bit later on. And then on the 20th, an online course payment is going to come out of my account. So that is all the known events, tasks, bills due that I have written down on my calendar, and I've migrated it. So if I am only going to use my to-do list to plan my week, I have all of that already taken note of. So really, really important. So let me know in the chat, or if you're watching on replay, if sometimes all you do is write a to-do list and not plan your normal daily, weekly, or monthly spread. Especially, it's a really good way for you to go and just streamline everything. So let me know in the chat if you sometimes just refer to a to-do list to plan your day or week. Now, the next thing that I want to do is I want to write the two tasks and to-do list that I do on a daily and weekly basis. So then that way it helps remind me, it helps prompt me, and it's a great way for me to make sure that if a day does get derailed, even if I have routines that are already habitual or automatic, that it helps sort of bring me back in, helps me make sure that I am streamlined. So for this, what I like to use is my task cards. So these task cards I made myself as a do it yourself. I'll have the link in the description, or a little bit later it'll be up on the link up here. So one of the things I like to use is my get things done task card. So these are the regular things that I need to do day in, day out, or in a weekly basis. So in that video, it'll show you how I use these little prompts. So task card essentially are these little cards that have sticky flags that you can either take off the card and put it on your daily spread or weekly spread as a little reminder, or you can put it on the clear divided task. So then when you are looking at your planner, it helps prompt you to do the next thing. But what I do now, because I do use this already on a regular basis, I just keep it on the card. I can either have my card handy on the desk so it's there so I can have a look at it, or I go and list down what I need to do. So these top three here, so instead of writing it all one by one, I call that my get things done review number 1. So whatever your task is, I'm not sure you're going to have a lot of shortcuts. So I do that normally on a Monday. So on a Monday, I will check my daily, weekly, and calendar spread from the week before. So then that way I can have a look at any incomplete task or any task I need to migrate or move into the new task. And then on Tuesday, I do my get things done review number 2. So that incorporates looking at my list of stuff, my projects list, and my content ideas spread. And then on Wednesday, see how I'm making little notes, little dots on here to let me know what day I need to do them. So these ones, I don't need to look at them until Wednesday. So see how it's like, even though I know I have tasks to do during the week, I don't need to review these until that day arrives. So get things done, review number 3. I like to review my Notion, although I haven't been using my Notion app as often. Clip my videos, so any long form videos that I have, I like to trim it down so I can create shorts and reels that if you do follow me on Instagram or here on YouTube, you might see some of the video clips from live streams or long form videos that I have shortened down into short form vertical videos. So get things done, and then get things done review number 4 is I look at my sales stats and plan for the new week. So there we go. I only try and do those in the first 4 parts, the first 4 days of the week, because that's when I know my energy level is up. So it's really important that, I don't know why it's swapping. I think I played around with my layout It's really important that when you are planning your week, that you plan high priority or important tasks or tasks that matter to you at during, earlier on, either in the day or earlier on during the week, or when your energy level is up. So for me, I know that Thursdays and Fridays my energy level gets depleted. So I don't assign too many tasks on that day. And this is when, if you are track your habits and your moods, this is when those trackers come into play, because then you get to see a pattern. So if you know me, I track my moods here. Let's have a my habit tracker. So uh, take this first week, of course, these first 2 weeks it has been up and down because I did get sick, but on a a typical week or typical month, I'll be able to see certain patterns or certain patterns during the week. So I know Thursday and Friday, because I would have done my Monday live, I would have done a lot of reviewing my planners, reviewing whether it's homeschool or work, home stuff, that Thursday, Friday, I actually note that as a day off. So even though I still do quite a few things, I know that if I don't have the energy, I don't have to do it. It's just a want to if I can. So do take note of times of the week that your energy level is high. And that's when pump out those tasks, get them done out of the way. And then that way gives you an opportunity to have rest and take a little bit of time out. So let me know if you are working from home, or you are a stay-at-home schooling mom or a stay-at-home mom, or you work from home, that you have given yourself particular days in the week that's not normally scheduled by an employee or employer. Let me know if there's certain days of the week that your energy level is a little bit lower. So type in the chat, is there a day in the week that your energy level is a little bit lower than normal? All right. So then the other thing that I would like to make sure that I put in there, because what's important is taking care of ourselves. And so it's also important to schedule in your breaks. Right. So one of the forms, the reason we burn out is we're not scheduling our breaks. We are majority of the time we take our breaks when we are forced to, when we're sick, when we're tired. So make sure to avoid burning out is to actually schedule them. So if you were here when I was doing the countdown timer, I was doing my stretches, doing my breathing. So if you work at your desk, get up from your desk every 25, half an hour, and do your stretches, do some breathing to slow down your heart rate, to tell that part of your brain that, that looks out for you, the amygdala, that there is no risk. So then that you won't get anxious. You're not on high alert. So important to look after your self-care. So for L, maybe Sunday night, I tend to feel extra tired. So yeah, so have a look, L. So L has a YouTube channel as well, L Naturally, where she talks about hair care, skincare, well-being, and looking after yourself. That and she has videos that she puts out. So if you're feeling tired on a Sunday night, you want to make sure that you schedule in breaks during that day. Thank you, Elle, for letting me know that Sunday is her tired, the energy levels a little bit lower. For me, Sunday is actually good because it's the start of the new week is coming up. I prepare for my Monday live, and and I've had the weekend off after my Saturday. I've had time to just sit down. So really important. So I do have also a task card that helps prompt me on what things I can do as part of this is called my macro breaks. So there's 3 types of breaks that we should be taking to avoid burning out. And that is micro. So take them several times a day. They're only the 1 to 2 minute type of breaks, like stretching, breathing in, getting outside. There's also macro breaks. So these are breaks that we should take 1 to 2 hours off a week for ourselves. So these, for me, it could be mani pedi. So I did my nails yesterday. Face mask, a foot spa, going for a long walk, watch a movie. For me, I like to sew, so maybe sew something for myself. And then the other type of break, so macro, and no, micro, meso. Sorry, this is meso, the 1 to 2 hours per week, and macro is half to a full day off a month. All these breaks should be taken in conjunction with each other. And when you schedule these type of breaks in, then burning out is not something that will, appear as often. So make sure you are taking scheduled breaks. So for me, I've already done my nails Sunday. So what I need to do though is my pedicure, because they're not looking too good. My red nail polish is all chipping off. So I need to make sure maybe I will do that on my day off. So that's not an energy depleting activity. So I can actually do it on my day off. So I'm going to put here pedicure on what's that? Did I put that? Oh, well, I put it on Friday. So I'll put it on Friday because I know Friday I don't have anything, major scheduled on. So let me know again. Participate in the chat or in the comments section if you are watching on your replay. Are you scheduling in your breaks? It's very important because I've been there where I used to think, sleep when I'm dead, right? I'll work, work, work. I'm sure for those of us who were in our early 20s, even 30s, especially when we worked outside of the home before the pandemic, that we burn the candle on both ends. We go out for those drinks, for the dinners, and then Saturday and Sunday, instead of resting, we're partying. I remember those good old days. And then, of course, we start the work week again, and we just go, in our 20s, we bounce back a lot easier. Now, in my late 40s, I'm just going, I have a little sip of wine or a little bit of my Bacardi and Coke, and I'm like gone. And ask myself, how did I manage to have, drank the night away and then go back to work early the next day? So it's important that we do make sure that we are, not burning the candle on both ends, that we are now scheduling in the break. Irene says, I'm still tired from yesterday. I can't get ahead. Oh, this is your little. I hope while you're watching me that you're not doing too much, that you are just taking it easy. Have your feet on the couch. Have your coffee like me that, it's still quite warm. So have your favorite bevy, Irene, and make sure to just give yourself a little bit of time to catch up, at least anyway, amongst friends here at during my live. So I do feel you though, because yeah, sometimes, and this is when I needed to just slow myself down and just make sure, can we just take it easy, please, Marianne? Stop giving yourself too much things to do, even though you think you want to, even though you think you may be behind, even though you think you need to catch up. It'll all sort itself out. So please make sure that you are putting self-care and time off as high priority. So don't think it's an afterthought and putting in that in between, where can I find a spot on my calendar, on my time blocking for me, should be the top priority. Your meals and your self-care and break times should be in there, and then you fill the rest in with your task and to-dos, because who's most important? You, right? Put the oxygen mask on first. And I am learning that more and more. I very often forget to do that. So I make sure now it's something that I put in there. So yes, Irene, I do feel you with the still feel tired from catching up from the week before. Now, okay, so the next thing that I do, so I put all that stuff there. The other things that you should also put on your to-do list are maybe the habits or routines that you don't do as often, but you really want to make sure that you do. So for me, I'm going to put here, I already know I need to do some sort of workout, whether it's 5-minute cardio or taking a walk, getting myself outside. Now, the exercise part of things, the actual cardio, I want to at least do that 3 to 4 times a week, but I need to make sure that I am active on a daily basis, because then if I get myself into a good routine to getting some sort of workout each day, that it is on there. So what I've done here is I have put my workout and little dot markings every day. So then at least when I'm looking at my to-do list, oh, okay, well, I need to do some sort of exercise or workout to make sure that I am active, that I am healthy, that it's, again, not an afterthought, or only do it when I feel like my clothes aren't fitting in, or, I've eaten too much junk food. So on my running to-do list, I have at the bottom here keys of what these little symbols mean. So for me, and of course it can change for anyone, a little dot on the day that I popped it on is to action it. I'm going to put a little cross. So let's say I did a workout today. I'm going to put a little cross on there to say I've completed it. A little arrow to say I'm going to move it to the next day if I don't do it today, or just a little cross to say I don't need to do it anymore. So you can add your own little symbols on your own to-do list or your own planner to put hearts, put stars, make sure that whatever symbols that will mean something to you, and then that's something that you will know what it means when you look at it, whatever it is. So these are just the simple keys that I've seen a lot of people use on their bullet journaling. So I've taken it on board for myself, and that's what I put on my to-do list. All right. So like I said, the to-do list helps simplify things. It helps you prioritize what's going to be important and for your to-do list. And running, it's called a running to-do list because none of these are in chronological order. So there's stuff down at the bottom of my list that I need to do earlier in the week. There's stuff on the top of my list that I need to do later in the week. There will be important stuff that I need to put at the bottom of the list, so priority-wise. So then you're not having to try and figure out at the time, or, if you're like me that like to have your planners, aesthetically well set, that you go, oh no, that should have been here instead of there. And then of course you get upset with yourself that you made a mistake on your planner page. Do you start over again? Do you put a sticker over it? Do you put a washi tape? Or do you, use a correction tape? So it helps simplify things for you and not overwhelm you. All right, so now really, really important for me is this is the things that are known, the things that are the things that I need to do on a daily basis, and then the rest of the page are for the things that I need to do for the rest of the week. So this can include things that may be incomplete from the week before. So I can look at my weekly spread. So I think I've done, so this one, as I know, I didn't do my Saturday live, so I'm just going to put a cross through that, but everything else on my weekly spread looks like I've completed, so that's fine. I'm going to look at my daily spread to see if there's anything that I need to maybe move to this week, or maybe move at a later date, late, maybe in September. So if those of you that are new here, what I do on my daily spread is, if I've looked at the task and my time blocking, I put a little mark at the bottom. See this little dot? There's a little dot here and a little dot there, dot here and a dot there, and same here, that's a little dot. So it's just my symbol to say that I've actually already reviewed that page, that I don't need to look over it again. So even if there are things that are incomplete on that page, I don't need to go and read over and take more of my precious time to try and review it. So I know that I've reviewed Monday, Tuesday. All right, so let's see here. So there's things that I wanted to create. So so I need to go and pop that on my to-do list. So create new planner inserts. So I want to try and get that done this week. And so I might do that on the Wednesday. Now, see what happens when you do with this running to-do list is once you start seeing tasks and events on particular days, then you start to go and prioritize your tasks. So if you already have a lot of tasks on a Tuesday, you're not going to put more load on yourself, are you? So you want to make sure, all right, well, I don't want to do it on, I know I need to do it and it's important. So Monday, I know because I wake up nice and early, and then of course I try and catch up on some rest after lunch. So I don't want to put anything on my plate to do for the rest of the afternoon that I know is important, that I might procrastinate with and then not complete and then move it to the next day and the next day. Have you found yourself doing that, where there are important tasks on your to-do list, but then you just put it off? Let's move it to the next day, the next day, the next day, the next week, the next month. Let's put it on our to-do list or list of stuff later in the year. So if you find yourself you're moving things, the same task day in, day out, have a think, how important is this? So it's important that procrastination is not so much wasting your time. Right. So I've learned that procrastination is not about wasting your time, that, I'm sitting on the couch playing video games. I'm sitting on the couch watching TV. Because if you are intentional with your time, so if you have intentionally put time to watch a movie or watch your TV shows or play video games, that is not procrastination. Procrastination is when instead of doing something that you want to do, you're doing something else. So you're not intentional with it. So for me, let's say, for example, video creation. If I want to create a video and I've said I'm going to go film this and then do something else, then that is when I'm procrastinating, is because I am not intentional with my time, or I'm not doing the tasks that I have set for myself for that time block. So really important that you start to see from a bird's eye view on this to-do list, or if you have a one page of just writing down your task, is you get to see that, oh, of course I don't get to do a lot of things on a Wednesday when I put 20 things on that day. Or you just go, is it really that important that, I'm going to take up a lot of my time or action something during a day that I have assigned as a day off, or assigned as a day that I don't have a lot of energy? Really great way. So even though you may have a daily or weekly spreads that you use on a regular basis, if you start to find yourself that it's not working out for you, step back, keep it simple, and just have a one pager. And you don't have to have my to-do list. You can, in the video that I will refer to a little bit later, you can put it in an exercise book. Go get a clean sheet of letter size or A4 size paper. Get your ruler and your pencil like they used to do back in the day when we used to rule our own pages. I sound like a great old nana. But really important, just having things on a one pager. Here we go. So Marcus says he is a master procrastinator. Marcus, maybe just pop it all on one list, or just, you know what, like I did the other day, I just put one thing on my to-do list. So if you find yourself procrastinating, take off that page or close the book, close the planner, and just put on a to-do list one thing. So I was writing this down one at a time. So I wrote down meditate. What did I do? I meditated because there was nothing else on my list to do. And then the next thing is I wrote gratitude log. So just do one thing at a time. And if you find yourself procrastinating a lot, like Irene is also from the Budgeting Mama, is also a master procrastinator, is close the book on all the things that you are finding you are not actioning right now, and just do one thing that matters to you. Keep it simple. And then what you will find is then you will find momentum. And then the other thing that I've also started doing is the Pomodoro technique. So Pomodoro, I think in Italian is tomato, and it's a technique where you set 25 minutes at a time to action something. So you break it down. So if you know you got to write a YouTube script, or you go to have to budget your new month, is instead of thinking I have 2 hours to do it in, break it down to 25 minutes. Put a 25-minute on your phone. We have timers, so you can't even make an excuse that I don't have a timer. Put 25 minutes. Do as much as you can in that 25 minutes. Get rid of all the distractions. Get rid of, notifications. Turn your phone off. Turn the TV off. Turn the computer off. Just do something in 25 minutes, and you will find that if you actually give yourself 2 hours to do something, you will take 2 hours to do it. But if you give yourself 25 minutes, it's amazing how much you can get done in that 25 minutes, because you have set yourself a false deadline, right? 25 minutes, get this done. And when you see that countdown timer, only got 10 minutes left, 5 minutes left, then you're a more efficient and effective. So try it. I'll put the blog that I wrote about it in the description after this live stream. Pomodoro Technique. Work 25 minutes, take a 5-minute break. Work 25 minutes, take a 5-minute break. So work for 25 minutes, and then 5-minute breaks in between. And once you've done four for Pomodoro, which is the, one tomato, 125-minute, then take a 15-minute break. And you'll be amazed how much more focused you are, giving yourself, like I said, a false deadline to get things done. So I forgot what it's called, but the amount of time you give yourself to do something is normally how long you'll get to do it. So when I used to be at uni, I'm going to study today. Right, I've got all day to study. Guess what I did? I spent the whole day doing nothing, and then study at 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning to get ready for the 8 o'clock exam, right? So if I just gave myself 3 hours to study, then I'll get it done, because you've given yourself a false deadline. So let's have look, May as well. 3 master procrastinators here. We've got lots of masters here. So really, really important. Hello, Erica. How are you? Thank you so much for joining us. Procrastinator party will be tomorrow. Yeah, let's see how much we won't do on our to-do list. It's like, let's tick off the things from our to-do list that we didn't do. Maybe that will give us a dopamine hit, because we are ticking stuff off that we didn't do. What is it that we didn't or maybe next week. No, let's put it off. You're funny, Marcus. I like this 25-minute plan. Yes. So Pomodoro. So I'll pop the blog that I wrote about it, Pomodoro Technique. So I use either on my Apple Watch, the timer, or on my phone, or I have a stream deck here. So really, really important. It's a definite, whenever. We'll do it whenever. But yeah, so really, really important. Now, Erin says, I have ADHD, so it's not always about doing the action. It's about willing myself to do the action and not getting ADHD paralysis. Exactly. And not getting sidetracked. But not on purpose. Yes, it's the squirrel thing. So yes, I read a little bit about the ADHD, because I thought maybe I had ADHD, but I think for me it is more that the anxiety and sometimes getting depressed that was stopping me from doing the things that I wanted to do. So I did visit my doctor, because there was, I questioned myself. So for those that, I do have ADHD, that, either can't concentrate on doing one thing, planner, of course, and having your planner is an important tool to have. Erica, hello from California. Thanks for keeping me company. Well, I set up my Hobonichi for the new week. Oh, I love Hobonichis. I love watching all these planner accounts that have the Hobonichi style planner, but I better stick to my pocket, my personal, my A5 and my many notebooks for a while, until I go and introduce another type of planner into my schedule. All right, so let's quickly have a look. Now, let's have a review. So there's my to-do list. I'm going to pop in that I need to create some planner inserts, and then also I'm thinking of putting some physical products, because during my illness, during my recovery, I was thinking, what else can I do that will spice up my life and put another thing on my to-do list? Thinking of maybe looking at some physical products. So I might do that on the Thursday. So see here, I know that's something that I will enjoy brainstorming about. So I'm going to put it on the day that normally I don't have a lot of energy, but it's something that I know that's going to motivate me, because I do enjoy putting new projects onto my list. So let's have a look. So with that on my daily spread from last week, I'm gonna put a little arrow, so it means I've moved it to the new week. So I can go to now my little marking here, say that I've reviewed this page. Let's see, I've got some stuff that I need to interview plan for my live show on Saturday. So I'm going to put a forward. I did my homework. So my husband and I have signed up for an online course to help us as parents of a child on the autism spectrum, because with a lot of things going on, with new changes in our the dynamics of our household, and of course my son, who's the youngest son, who's on the spectrum, is 14 years old, so a typical teenager. There's been lots of stresses in on us as parents, and we sometimes feel a little bit lost whether we're doing enough. We're getting stressed with each other, getting stressed with the children. So we have signed up for an online parenting course. And then here, supply. So these are the things what I'm adding next on my to-do list are incomplete tasks from the week before that is important. So it's not something I can set aside or take away from my action task. So migrate any incomplete tasks that you need to do. So I need to do that in those 2 days. So see how some things you can break it down into 2 days, into 3 days. So your to-do list doesn't mean you have to complete everything on the task on that one particular day. So break it down into, if it's going to be 2 days, 3 days. So let me see, I've written that on my to-do list. So I'm going to forward it to the new week. I've reviewed it, so I'm giving myself a little marking on the bottom of my page. And as you can see here, this is when I got the cough got real bad. And see, sleep in, and then just really my meals, my breaks during the afternoon. And then yesterday I felt a lot better, so then I was able to catch up on a lot of things. So now I've looked at things that I need to forward to the new week. And then anything else that's going to come up later throughout the week, I still have a little bit of space. Now it's really, really important that you keep your to-do list on the one page. So let me just quick, Rosalind, hello, how are you? Thank you so much for joining us here. The 2-minute rule, yes, from the Atomic Habits, is a powerful principle for me, especially to get started, even just a few minutes at a time. Excellent. So Rosalind is also an avid reader of the book by James Clear, Atomic Habits. I think also let me know, Rosalind, if this is also from Stephen R. Covey's book, not Stephen R. Covey, David Allen's How to Get Things Done. I think you might also have the 2-minute rule on there, was if you can do something that's less than 2 minutes, do it now. Don't put it off. Don't put it on your to-do list. Just do it now. For me, it's things like, oh, I need, I walk past the mirrors and they need to get, clean. So I make sure that, well, I can do that in less than 2 minutes or less. So anything that you can action. Thank you, Rosalind. That's a really, really great how to get things done. 2 minute rule is to make sure if you can do it within the 2 minutes, don't put it off, just do it. And then it's off your list and it's off your mind. So really, really important. Happy Sunday, Monday, Budgeting Mama. Excellent. Thank you for sharing such a practical way of planning a running to-do list without being overwhelmed by a never-ending list of priorities. Exactly. It's really important. So I do have Rosalind, a list of tasks, a list of stuff for everything else that I want to do, I need to do, but don't know yet when I'll do them or what I'll do. So that is one of the things that I check on a regular basis as part of my get things done. So let me quickly grab that little task card. So on Tuesday, I check my list of stuff, which is this one here. So these are the things that's on my mind that I don't know what to do yet. Get it out of my head, down on paper, write it down. I put them in a collection or what's called buckets according to David Allen's How to Get Things Done. So pink color, so my color coding is pink is me stuff. Yellow is my social media stuff. Orange is income producing activities. Green is planning and budgeting. Purple is home and family. And blue is for my boys' stuff and their school. So on a Tuesday, I will go through my list of stuff, cross off anything I've completed from the week before, and I assign at least one thing from each collection or each bucket on my new week. So because I know Monday I've got lots of things to do, I won't check my list of stuff until tomorrow when I've had a little bit of a breather. All right, so my schedule doesn't allow me to get lots of things done on a Monday because I do my live show. I make sure I take some time off to rest. So I take the afternoon off. And then tomorrow, I'm going to go down this list and go see how I've dotted with my zebra mild, my Kuretake Zig Clean color dot. So what I do is I write down the stuff that I want to do but don't know yet what to do. So go down the list and see if I can assign 1 to 2 things from each collection on my new stuff. So that's why I make sure I leave a little bit of space. And what happens too is by having only one page is then you go, oh, well, I don't have any more lines assigned and I don't really want to flip through to the new page because that depletes the purpose of having a one-pager to-do list. So it allows you to see what is a high priority. So why are you going to put too much more on your list when you know, especially remember, I'm using this because I feel either stressed or overwhelmed or I want to catch up from the week before and just simplify things. So I'm not going to put things on there that I know may not be important or what does not matter to me, to my family. If it's on someone else's agenda, this is when you start to prioritize. Is this task something that I can delegate to someone else? Maybe get the kids to help out, clean their room instead of you cleaning it. Or can I put this off until next week? So it allows you to fit only the things that matter to you on that one page. So that is, so for my list of stuff, that's when I'll go and see what else I can pop onto my to-do list for the new week. All right, let's quickly have a look. Yes, Erica is feeling the love. Excellent. All right, so now the other thing that I will put on here are my cleaning tasks. So I know today, so here I'm going to put on a Monday, I need to clean our bathrooms. Because over the weekend we just all rested because even like my young one started getting the cold, so we just went, you know what, let's just give ourselves the weekend off and not worry about the cleaning. So but I do need to clean it because with two boys in the household, two young boys, husband and I, with my hair. I shed a lot of hair. My poor husband, you know, will have said to me he can create a new Marianne with the amount of hair that he finds on the bathroom floor. So I need to make sure the bathroom needs to get clean. And that's a today. I can't put it off because you know how when you just go, there's toothpaste splashes on the mirror. I need to have that clean. So bathrooms and then bedrooms I'm going to do tomorrow. So put my clothes away. A lot of clothes are on the chair instead of the cupboards and the drawers. So I'm going to do the bedrooms. And then so I only live in a small flat. We live in a small flat that has shared dining area, shared lounge, and shared, homeschool because we homeschool our youngest. So I'm going to clean the common area on Wednesday. So those are my cleaning routine. So I need to make sure that I am on top of that, or else, because I know that will trigger me. A messy house or a dusty house, I can really live with. We're not pedantic about having, running our fingers and making sure that the place is spick and span. But I know when I am heightened, I am anxious, it's one of the things that trigger me because then I'll get all irritated and frustrated. It's like I spot something on the floor and then I could explode. So I need to make sure as a way to manage my own emotions and help regulate myself that I take away things that may trigger me when I am in a position that I can't control my emotions and I am in that fight, flight, or freeze mode when I'm anxious or I'm feeling stressed or overwhelmed. So if you do ever find yourself in a position that there are things that trigger you, I know I have a lot of things that trigger me. The roll of the eyes from certain members of the family, or the teenager go, have you cleaned your room? It's like, stop talking to me in one syllable answers. So those things that trigger me, so I make sure that I take them away, so then when I am unable to control my emotions, it doesn't trigger me. So really, really important. Erica, I'm the same way. I shed so much hair. I decided to move the hand vac into the bath. Oh, hey, I have a hand vac. Maybe I'm going to pop that in the cupboard under the bathroom sink. Great idea. Because, yeah, my husband just goes, love your hair, my darling, just not on the floor. Not all, shading on the floor. So, okay. So let's have a look. So, really important. If you find yourself in a position where you are overwhelmed, remove all the things that can overwhelm you or trigger you. That, if you're looking at empty daily planning pages, empty weekly pages, or tasks that's not getting done or getting not ticked off, or you're procrastinating, is simplify it. Take a step back and try a running to-do list like this. So now let's quickly have a look. Let me know if anyone has any question. Erica says also I keep my makeup wipes in the bathroom, and when I use one, I fold it back over and use it to wipe something down. It really helps me keep up with cleaning the small space. Yes, that is a great little tip. See, this is why we come together as part of our little planning community. We share these type of tips and tricks, and hopefully, of course, that when you do watch my video, whether you are in my live, like a lot of you are, and I appreciate you for being here, or watching on replay, that normally we'll probably go, oh, why didn't I think of that? Because it's not so much that we're not thinking of it, but because it's not front of mind, and because we already have so many things that we need to do. Sometimes there are things that you go, that is just the most simple things. Why didn't I think of that? So it's a great way for us to share these tips and tricks. Speaking of sharing and tips and tricks, of course, if you are liking my video, don't forget to hit that like button, because then it just tells me that I'm doing the right stuff. I'm showing and making the right videos. And of course, it tells YouTube that, hey, there are people that's liking Marianne and the stuff that she makes on the YouTube channel. It may, of course, also help show it to like-minded people like us. And it just helps. It's even though they say, right, vanity shouldn't talk about vanity, or should vanity metrics shouldn't matter, it still does help. It's that little compliment, and then that what you do matters. So please, if you would, make sure to hit that like button, and of course share it if you have planner friends that might also get lots of tips and tricks from us today. Lovely tips that Erica has shared with us, and that a lot of you have shared with me, your insights. Make sure to share it as well. Okay, now really, really important, I have mentioned it earlier, is make sure you only assign, a hard number, either 3 to 5 tasks per day or 5 to 7 tasks per day. Don't put too many things on the same day. So let's see, Tuesday, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I know Tuesday, I won't put any more tasks on that day. Also, don't put tasks or important things or high priority stuff on days that it is either your day off or that your energy level is not high. Because what will happen is, if you assign tasks to yourself that you're just not going to do it, you're just going to then put yourself in a spiral where you go, I'm going to move it to the next day. Oh, I don't really want to do it the next day, because then my energy level's not high, or I've got too many things I need to do that day. Make sure, don't put too much pressure on yourself by putting too many tasks that you're not going to do. So why do it? This is your planner. It's not that someone's telling you, hey, you got to do 20 tasks today, matey. Make sure you get them all done, right? You go and make sure, you know what, that's not a priority for me today. It can wait, or I'll give it to someone else to do. Also, by having, like I said, only a few tasks, it's more manageable, and you're not going to give yourself a lot of stress. Now, and of course, if there are tasks that you need to do either on a daily, weekly basis, batch them together. So, for example, if you need to check your emails, you need to answer DMs or text, or update your things on your computer, batch them all at the same time. So then that way, when you're at your desk, you're going to do them all at one time, rather than today is email day, tomorrow is respond day, Thursday is when I'm going to respond to all the things. So batch them together. Use the Pomodoro technique, which is like set yourself 25 minutes to do it. So you're giving yourself a false deadline and you're not taking all day to do it. So batch things that are similar together. Oh, Marcus, thank you so much. Keep it up. Keep it up. Thank you. I appreciate your super sticker and a continued support from you. I do appreciate you so much. Okay, so the batch things together. So for those of us that are content creators, maybe do all your thumbnails all on the same day. Maybe do your script for your videos all the same day. Maybe film all your things. Now, that is something that I am telling you to do. It's not so much that I can follow because I've tried content batching, but because I guess my niche is a little bit more different, as in, I plan things along the way, then of course I can video my things throughout the week. But if you're in a niche that's you can't do it every day, try and do the batch content creation, or do all the laundry, or well, maybe not the laundry, because for us we do laundry every day with 2 boys continually changing their clothes. So yeah, have a think what tasks that I do on a regular basis that's all similar that I can put together, so then I can just sit down, because they say if you move from task to tasks, it actually takes you another 10 to 15 minutes to get into the momentum, because you're moving from computer to cleaning to blah blah blah, whatever it is. So it takes a lot of time to get your brain back into gear to concentrate on something. So batch content batching is really really important. Now okay, so that's the thing. Now with the cleaning, with regards to the different type of cleaning task, I do also have a cleaning list that I have. So here, I'm just going to very quickly, because I am mindful of the time, again, use nice colorful marker on there. And I know I need to do here bathrooms. So then this is where I write my individual tasks. So mirrors, sinks, toilets, and floor. Now, I live in a small flat, so I don't, pretty much probably I can do, all the cleaning in one go. I don't want to do it because it's just not a favorite thing of mine. So I could either do all of this all on the same day, or if I wanted, because for us it is a small flat, and like I said, with batching your tasks together, I normally sometimes will do, so let's say this is our bedrooms. I'll do all the mirrors all at the same time, because it's a small flat. I've got the spray, I've got the cloth already handy. So I might do all the mirrors all at the same time. So instead of doing, cleaning task room by room, I do my cleaning task by task, because I already have the gear. If I'm mopping, I'll mop all the the tiles in the house, or if I'm doing the vacuuming. So let me know where you live, or where your household, do you clean by rooms, or do you clean by tasks? So let me know in the chat or in the comment section if you clean by rooms or by tasks. So bedrooms, I got to do the mirrors, I got to do the drawers and the closet. So make sure that's all organized. Put my clothes away. So it's me that's I'm guilty of the clothes on the top of the shelf or on the chair. Put clothes away, and dust. So I need to do a lot of dusting. So now the other thing so I'll add the other things on here. So bathroom, bedrooms, lounge, and then our dining area, and then our homeschool, and then my planner, and studio, my little YouTube studio that you see right here. So Elle says, task mostly floors and surfaces and vacuuming. And Irene, I clean as needed, which is when it gets bad. Yeah, that's pretty much me as well. Irene, is if I look at it and I'm not, it's not something that'll irritate me or set me off, and it's not, causing, let's say, allergies if it's dusty. So, here we in my family, we don't have any allergies. So those things, yes, you're like me. I also clean as I go, or clean what I see that I can't put off anymore. That, you look at it and you go, that's looking a bit nasty. Better go and do that cleaning. So Erica, I live in a studio, so it's just one big room. I tend to go by task, but Pomodoro Technique helps me get things clean. See, I'm so glad that a lot of us are going to already use the Pomodoro Technique, or setting a timer for our task and to-do list. So, all right, now, like I said, I was sick last week, and in between the rest and sleep, I still managed to stress over a lot of things. Stressing. Now, someone did mention, I think it was, I'm not sure if it was here on YouTube or on Instagram, that maybe the stress and the overwhelm and the, getting anxious might be because of menopause. Okay. Now, for me, menopause is, in my head, this is in my head, that it's someone in their 50s and in their 60s. And, I equate it to the hot flushes, or, the night sweats, which is, thanks to my dad. That's what, poor dad had experienced when my mum was going through menopause. And that's what I equate menopause to, is, like it's for the golden girls, the golden girls with B. Arthur, who's that, Betty White. That's what I think of menopause, is the older ladies with the gray hair. But of course, nowadays the 50s and 60-year-olds are looking good, so, and it's not talked about. So someone did mention that maybe my stress and my overwhelm is about, menopause. And I'm there going, oh, I don't know anything about menopause. Now, whilst physical symptoms like the night sweats and, the irregular periods that they talk about, that, that's going to happen, those are the visible things that I know about menopause. But the emotional symptoms that, about anxiety, are things that I wouldn't even equate to menopause. But guess what? Next Saturday, I'm going to have an expert come on here to my Mariane Cresp Saturday live show and talk about what menopause is. And hopefully, now, majority of my viewers here on YouTube are women in their mid to late 30s and 40s as well, and me at 48. And I don't know anything about menopause apart from, like I said, the hot flushes and night sweats. So I'm going to have an expert come in. So it's Betty Varga of Crazy Sexy Menopause is going to be a guest on my show next week. So whether you think that menopause is only for the oldies, the oldies, you would be surprised that there's actually, a lot more than the night sweats and the hot flushes. And what we talk about here is going to be a really important part, the self-care, the mindfulness, the movement. So make sure, if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, make sure you do, because I want you to also hit that bell to make sure you get notified of when I am on. So then that way you can come along with me and talk to Betty Vargas of Crazy Sexy Menopause and find out exactly what's involved with regards to menopause and the onset of menopause. So this is very, very exciting for me, because this is something I wanted to do, is to have regular guests on my show, because I want to tap into the minds of experts that know these things, and I want to give myself the opportunity to learn new things to better help equip myself into these things that I would never even have thought of, that it could be my stress and overwhelm could be that. So really, really important. So very quickly, I just want to make sure. Thank you. Don't forget. Oh, thank you, Erin. Aw, you're so cute. I love it. I love it. Erica says yes, and then Perry. Yeah, that there's Perry, pre, and post. What? I need a lot of help because I do not know a lot. So I'm so excited to have Betty come on Saturday next week. So learning hormones is important for us all, for women and for the men that have to live with us. Yes. I do also have a special guest coming on with Betty to help those of us that support the women, either the partners. So make sure it's really, really important. Irene says, also forgetful bruises and so many more. Well, see, I wouldn't have known any of these things. So thank you. Yeah, so important for all of us. Right? It's never been talked about, because I'm just thinking, wait, you know what I thought menopause is? When your period is over, hot flushes will come, night sweats. But the thing is, I already get night sweats, so I'm thinking it's just part of my normal day-to-day one. So I must watch this one. Please, someone remind me. Right. Yep. So Irene, you're also I know you're also on Instagram as Irene Plans, or is it Irene's Plan or Irene Plans? But I know you're there, so I'm going to make sure to remind you because I want to make sure build this up because if I don't know, and I think, well, I thought I was versed with, self-care, and I'm learned, you know what, this planning channel of mine has come into fruition because originally I wanted to know about habits and, the science behind the brain to help my son who's on the autism spectrum, to help him manage his anxiety, he help self-regulate his emotions. But I have learned so much for myself, and that's why I want to make sure that I am learning these sort of things. And if I'm in a position where I don't know it, then I'm sure a lot of people will also get so much out of, sharing each of our learning. Irene says, menopause is a mystery. No one really knows. And of course, it all differs. I have had a quick chat with Betty. It differs in cultures, so it's really important that we need to know what to look out for so we are tooled up, because she says once you're in it, it's a lot harder to build the habits to make sure we are looking after ourselves. So make sure you tune in next week to watch Betty talk about what we need to look out for and how we can look after ourselves. So, okay, so now let's quickly have a look. So where is our to-do list? Okay, so for the moment, until I get myself back into the swing of things after being ill, I'm going to work off my to-do list, and then as the week and the days go on in the week, I'll embellish my other pages. So do keep an eye out if you aren't following me on Instagram to make sure you follow me there. And of course, if you want to grab any of my printables, under the description in here on YouTube, there is a products that I've tagged. So any of the things, whether it's the to-do list with the cleaning list, my list of stuff I think I have there, or my personal size planner inserts, if you do want to make sure to check them out, check the products tagged by Mariane at the bottom of the description. Now, okay, so if you want to see in full how I mark and complete the running to-do list when you have action, the tasks on it. So today I showed you how to write your to-dos, tasks, appointments, events, bills due. But if you want to know how I mark completed tasks, what I do with incomplete tasks, I have a video that says reduced overwhelm now, learn how to simplify your tasks. The link is in the description below, or later on you can click or tap the screen to watch the video.